Blighty Boxing in association with Frank Warren and Queen's Roof Motions down here in Southampton to catch up with the soon-to-be, hopefully, debut maker, Josh Frankham. How are you, Josh?
Yeah, all good, thank you, mate. Yourself?
All right, man. Now,
good.
This pandemic has probably, in sporting terms, affected you probably more than many, because it put paid to your debut on a massive show at the O2 Arena, didn't it? Which was supposed to be April 17th. You must have been heartbroken, weren't you?
Well, we was 4 weeks away, I think. 4 weeks, 3 or 4 weeks. Gutted. But couldn't do nothing about it, so just look forward to the next one now, hopefully.
You must have kind of seen it coming in the few weeks before, but you know, so you could tell things were going wrong and things were falling down throughout Europe.
Especially when they cancelled the Premier League. That's when you knew. When that's cancelled, the money in that, you know, that's when you knew boxing wasn't going to go on. So, but now I've got a new date. Thing is, first week in August. I don't actually know. I think it could be first week in August. And we'll just see if that goes on. Hopefully, touch wood.
Well, I'm sure it will. I mean, there's obviously a series of Boxing Unlocked on BT Sport coming up, so you've obviously got a slot on one of those. It's obviously going to be a bit different between 17,000 at the O2 and a handful of people.
10 maybe.
Yeah, a behind closed door venue sort of. That's going to be, I suppose it'll take you back to your amateur days, I guess.
Yeah, very much. Well, even in my amateur days, I still had at least 100, 200 people of like my own family and own friends, and so we always had a big crowd. But yeah, I suppose it'll be a new experience, won't it?
I said to Mark and one or two others, but while you've got that thing about there being no people there or no fans, there's going to be a hell of a lot of people watching, because people are so starved of sport. You've got the football back now, but I think people will be ready for a change in a couple of weeks.
Give it a couple of weeks, yeah.
And this would be the perfect time for boxing to come back.
Yeah. I think the first fight was Shakur Stevenson. I think he even had like a big, I think it was like 400,000 people, 300,000 people. Yeah,
and it was a nothing fight as well, wasn't it?
And it was just literally, he was fighting not even for his title. So yeah, big audience, expecting a big audience.
Now, Wayne, your trainer, tells me, but you've stayed on it over this last few months and been incredibly disciplined, and you look like you have come back in good shape. Get those guns out. So how hard was that to maintain that momentum during a period where you didn't really know what was going on?
To be honest with you, I train every day anyway. I know it's all right me saying that, but I do. I train every day anyway. Always, I stay in routine. If I'm not training in the gym and I haven't got a fight, I train Monday through to Saturday, rest Sunday. That's not hardcore, but you know what I mean. A few run, a few weights, hitting the bag, just keep ticking over. I train anyway, so it was nothing new. But found it hard, I suppose, not knowing when you're going to fight, and like Wayne saying, we've got to get back in the gym, but then me thinking, is it too dangerous? Is it perfect timing to go back in the gym? So now they've said I've got a date, I can finally get back in the gym and get ready.
Did you find it hard keeping a 2 metre distance from the fridge?
Yeah, I did, yeah. All I done was eat, literally eating and eating. I've actually stayed, I weighed the lightest yesterday I've weighed since I probably last boxed, which was nearly 2.5 years ago, 3 years ago. So I've managed to keep the weight off well, but I still kept on the training. Still, see, if I had like a pizza, I made sure I trained that morning. So I disciplined myself. Mentally,
how hard was this period for a young fella like yourself who's very active and being told but you can only go out once a day and things like that? How did you find that?
It's all right, but if you've got a lot of family around you, you know, I was going for walks with my brother and spending a lot of time with my nieces and my dad and my mum. And
do you live on a site?
No, I live on a residential, not a travelling site, residential site.
But you got a lot of people around you.
Got a lot of people, but obviously I wasn't mixing, just with my mum and dad. My brother lives with me.
So you were pretty confined then?
So I had things going on every day, you know. If I wasn't training, I was watching fights or just the odd things, you know, clean up around the place. And you have to, because otherwise you'd sit there and your brain would fry, wouldn't it?
Did you wake up in the morning and do Tyson's exercise sessions?
No, I didn't, as it goes. I watched them a couple of times. They look good, don't they? A lot of people have been doing them. A lot of people. I think it was good. Good for people.
He kept it right up, didn't he? Kept it going all the way through.
I think he only ended Monday, I think. So
fair play to him and his missus.
Yeah, fair play to him.
Now, on the subject of Tyson, finally, you are an official Tyson Fury correspondent.
Yeah.
So, word has it, but there's a little bit of progress made between him and Joshua. Still a mile off.
Yeah.
Nothing signed, nothing agreed. They've both got fights coming up. We know that. How do you break down Fury Joshua?
I think it's an easy fight for Tyson. No disrespect to Joshua. He's probably a lovely fella. He actually knows some of my family quite well for quite a few years. My uncle lives in Watford and has always known of him. And he's done a lot for the sport. But I can't see him winning in any way.
Is Tyson standing on his head?
I think he'll last 6 rounds. I think he can take him out in 6 rounds. Whether he goes at him like he did against Wilder, whether he boxes him, I don't see any way Joshua can win the fight. And that's no disrespect to him, but I just can't.
Does he mentally destroy him by getting inside his head? And
Yes, Tyson can get inside of anyone's head. You know?
he wins that battle before fights.
He wins that
doesn't
battle
he?
before fights. Look what he done to Klitschko. Mentally broke him. So,
And Wilder twice.
And Wilder. Joshua's going to be game. Don't worry about that, because how can you not be? Listen, it's a battle of Britain. It's the biggest fight the world's ever had for years. So he's going to be game, but...
Has Joshua ever fought a mobile target like Tyson? If you look at his opponents, they've all kind of been quite sort of standard, upright,
Yeah.
sort of heavyweights, haven't they?
I think the most athletic fighter he's ever fought was probably Klitschko. Would you say that?
Yeah, I mean Parker, he
Parker.
boxed off the back foot, and
Yeah,
then sort of,
Parker, probably Klitschko, most
Yeah.
athletic fighter he's fought. Listen, he's done a lot for boxing, and he's a good champion, but I just don't think he can compete with Tyson. Definitely not.
Right, so guys, you know where to put your money. Josh Frankham, thank you very much,
No
sir.
problem. Thank you.